Hello, everybody. Just coming on to chronicle my journey. Today is actually Friday. Typically, chemo is on Thursday. Today was chemo day, chemo cycle 15 out of 16. Thank you, Jesus. So first and foremost, I made myself some notes so I can kind of get out what I wanted to share with you guys. First and foremost, just let me say thank you. Lord Jesus Christ, you are an amazing God. You are an amazing provider, and you cannot fail. And you have done marvelous things. So, God, I just thank you just right now for everything that you have put your hands on in this situation. Thank you to family and friends for your prayers and support. We are coming around the mountain. Thank you, Jesus. We are getting very, very close to the finish line. As a result, today was a very long day. I was at chemo, not that I had chemo for 8 hours, but I was at Vanderbilt from sun up to sundown, from 9 till 6. And that is in the day. I had a series of events happen. I had the ultrasound, mammogram. I met with Dr. Gower, and then we had labs, and then we went to chemo. So that's kind of how your day is. Could be planned. So again, I always just speak from my journey point of view, because everybody's journey can be tailored to their need and different for them. Today, the first thing I did was another mammogram. I tried really hard to get her to let me take a picture of it so that you could see what it looks like. But unfortunately, I guess due to laws and privacy, she wouldn't let me take a picture of it. But I was able to put in a request for a CD of my ultrasound and my mammogram. So when that stuff comes back, I am really interested in you guys seeing those things, because it just gives light into how the chemo has worked. And that's the part I really want you guys to see, is how they mark it, and you can see the markers on the ultrasounds, and you can see the chemo, and you can see heavy, dense breast tissue. So I will hold off on explaining all of that until I get that CD and I'm able to take pictures of it so you can see, and I can explain better what all that means. So basically, on the left breast, I had a cancerous tumor that was kind of shaped like an L, and it had attached itself to the areola area and the nipple, and so it is a surface cancer. So it was stage 1, and it was more geared towards it was more positioned on the surface. And then on the right side, that one was more embedded deeper into the tissue, and that's the one I couldn't feel, and that is probably because it was so deep into the tissue. So when we looked at the ultrasound today, we saw that it had went from like a little L shape down to like a speck, like a really, really tiny mark. And she said, to be honest, she couldn't tell if that is the cancer itself attached to the marker. So it was kind of blurred for her and the radiologist decided not to come in. Last time she did the ultrasound, he did come in and he took a look, but today he didn't. So she and I, all we had was speculation amongst ourselves to figure out what we were looking for. They did not see any cancer on this side, on the right side, through the ultrasound. The mammogram as well. So the mammogram and the ultrasound kind of do the same thing. They're really the same picture. And when I get that back, I'll show you that so you can see. But anyway, the praise report of it all is the cancer did respond to chemo, and apparently it has done very well. Now, we are still not clear about the lymphatic system that's under your arm, and they won't really know that until the day of surgery. So here's what we have. January the 8th, I will be meeting with Dr. Hayden. I don't know, Hendon. I'm not really for sure what his name is. Dr. Hendon. He is the plastic surgeon. Today's meeting was with Dr. Gower. She is the surgeon who will be taking the girls off. And Dr. Hayden will tag team in and put extenders into the breast area. And those extenders will be filled with saline. And I will have bulbs. These bulbs are they're like a piece of tube. And then on the end of it, it's got less. I likened it to a stress ball because it functions the same way. And then it's got a little spout on the end of it. And in that spout, you uncap it like toothpaste. And then you pour out the blood and the content. All right. And then you clean that all up and you tuck it away. It is not clear how many bulbs I will have until they get into the surgery. So the pictures show that the chemo is responsive and everything is working. But they won't know until they get into the operating room how much damage that cancer caused. So we have a couple of plans in place. And Dr. Gower is going to do what's best for me at that time. So the prayer is, remember to stay on your prayer targets, is that the cancer stay contained to the breast so that she doesn't have to make another scar under here or make another cut under there to remove my lymphatics. While I'm there and under the knife, the other doctor will look at let me back up. While I'm there and under the anesthesia, let me back up again. They will inject me with a radioactive dye. And that dye will show up on the pictures as it travels through my breast, through my lymphatic system. And it should show if there is damage. And then they will put me to sleep. And while I'm asleep, Dr. Gower will remove the breast. And she too will inject dye into the veins and the nerves to make sure they are not damaged as well. And then she will clean up her part. And then Dr. Hendon, I think I'm saying it right. I'll get more clarification of this on the 8th. Dr. Hayden, I got Hayden. He will then in turn place spacers inside the breast cavity. And he will clean all that up, suture it up, and he will put bulbs in. So there could be a bulb at the top of the breast and one at the bottom, or two side by sides. It's not real clear which thing he's going to do because he doesn't know until he gets in there and gets his hands wet. So that is what we have for that part. I was given literature to bring home. And I mean, it's just like a ton of things to read over. And I haven't read over it all. I just kind of remember some of the things because my nurse made notes. And on these notes, she talked about the main things that I just need to know. So like a week before, I won't be able to have my medicines, like my blood pressure medicine. So it's going to be really, I guess, imperative for me to be careful of my diet because I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to take my blood pressure pills for a week. I just needed to bring the basics. I have to spend a night in the hospital. And if someone wants to stay, it has to be a person who is going to be with me and do the cleanup care for me, because for a few weeks I won't be able to tend to those matters myself. I will be able to walk and do all that other stuff, but I'm not able to lift my hands above my head. I'm not able to drive. I'm not able to do anything strenuous that'll cause me to flex my muscles in the breast area or this part. So if anybody visits the hospital, and I prefer you not, but if you do come, they want it to be the person who's going to spend the night with me during my recovery time. Because you need to learn how to clean that. That person will need to, and I think I don't know who it's going to be. I've already asked who I really think would be available to do that for me, and who I would feel comfortable pulling out of their element to stay in my home. Because I know I'm real funny about where I sleep. I don't really like being in nobody else's bed. And, I'm real funny about who's in my house. So I've already asked the persons that I think can handle that, and I can handle them, and they're not going to be in here trying to do too much. Ain't nothing worse than being down and somebody doing the most. So I just want to throw that out there. So anyway, they've asked me to bring a button-down shirt. Because of the bulbs, I will have to wear button-down shirts for a while. And let me talk about this. They gave me a pouch. So on top of having a button-down shirt, you have this apron, so to speak. And it has pockets. So you're going to put it around your waist. And then the bulbs will be hanging out. So you'll clean your bulbs out and stick them back down into the pocket. And then you can go on out the door if you're going to the mall or wherever you're going. So this little pouch is slick, cute. You mess around, had this on with some jeans and a t-shirt playing. So that's for that. And then they gave me seat belt covers, because they are designed to keep the seatbelt strap off of my pore area and off of my breast, because they're going to be kind of sore. So they gave me 2 of them to cover the seatbelt straps with. And so that is for that. I have, like I said, a whole list of to-dos. They're going to wrap me really tight in like an ace bandage situation. And they'll talk to me more later on about how to take care of the incisions. But for the first few days, I won't be able to bathe. I won't be able to shower. I just need a bird bath. Some people refer to it as a whole bath, but I'll be in here taking my bird bath. They want me to wear my support tights. I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. And I mean, like I said, it's just so much in here. So if you guys have any questions without dragging that to the moon, let me know. I can go back and read that. And then they gave me some stuff about drain care. So whoever is going to be my babysitter during my downtime. I know my Aunt Kathy is coming, but I don't think she's going to stay. But anyways, I got some folks that's coming by to check on me. They got a chart in here that I need to document every day how much drainage is coming out. So that's part of just some paperwork. Just reminding me to drain my pumps. And this gave me a little map of where I'm going. I'll be over at Vanderbilt, the main campus, on the 3rd floor. So you can send me baskets of fruit, candy, and flowers to the 3rd floor. The surgery can't be scheduled for 4 weeks out of the very last chemo. So next Thursday is the last chemo. So 4 weeks from that is when they will be able to schedule the surgery. So we still got a little ways to giddy up. That's what that is. these lymph nodes that she's talking about, she called them the sentinel nodes. Sentinel, sentinel nodes. So she gave me some paperwork about what they are and what they do. And then on the back, it's just some information about how to take care of it. So they gave me some Emala cream, EMLA, Emala cream, when I first got my port, because it's a numbing cream. So I'm not a fan of all these different medications. But that's necessary for me to have the surgery. So that will be a medication that I will apply topically so that the area is numb when they get ready to go in and proceed with the dye and all of that. So that covers that. Let's see. I have now been placed on a list of people who have to go to the oncologist every 6 months now because of the type of cancer that I have. My best means of survival is, if it comes back, is catching it early. That's my best plan of action. And since I know that it is hereditary, and that does mean it is inevitable that it will come back, dear Lord Jesus, and you can block that. But science says it could come back. And so that's why I will be going to Dr. Park every 6 months. For a while. They didn't even put an end date on it, I don't think. I didn't hear her say, you'll be coming back every 6 months for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. They just didn't say. Anyway, so if I get clarification on that, I'll bring that back to the table. They are pushing for me to advocate to get back over to genetic counseling so that I'll know. Just knowledge is power, and just because. But it doesn't have any bearing on the surgery because I had already decided I wanted both breasts off. I made that decision before we even knew it was genetic. But the genetic counseling is just a great way to have an understanding of your biological makeup, your genetic makeup, so that if you have children, you can learn how to fight and protect them and check on them every 6 months. As often as they say or whatever. So if you do know that, you just need to follow up with that. I think that's it. That's all that my notes have. I won't be able to do any housework. It's going to be imperative that I get everything I need done around this house. I need to get it done now, because once the surgery happens, I'll be down for 6 weeks. Oh, let me say this. And while they are in there working on the breast, once they get to the sentinel nodes, there is going to be a person in there in the operating room. I'm not for sure. I can't remember what she labeled him as. Is he the oncologist? He's another surgeon or radiologist. I don't know what he is. But anyway, this person will be in the operating room, and they will do a biopsy of the nodes. And if he sees damage or any kind of cancer, he will alert her so that she can remove all of that out of there. The major concern for doing that is lymphedema. I may be saying it wrong, but anyway, the major concern of that is lymphedema, and that is where your arms start to swell. And I raised the concern because I already have a weak vascular system. And so that's why my legs have always been swollen, because my veins already don't work like they should. So that's when you see people that have swollen legs like me, or have cankles, some people call it. That can be caused per se in the arms. So I really, really, really am praying that the cancer didn't get there, because I don't want that to be like that. So that's my major concern. When I went in this morning, I was extremely scared, like concerned, and just kind of fearful, because I mean, today was a day that I got to understand and know how well my process has been going. So when I got there, I just had just so many thoughts and emotions in my head. And I'm just real grateful that you all prayed for me. I took a minute to steal away and pray to God and tell God thank you, because the devil tried to make me believe God wasn't going to do things for me. And I know better. So I took a moment today to write in my journal. I write my letters to God in my journal. So I took a moment today to write in my journal and calm my spirit. And even though when I looked at the screen and me and the radiologist looked and saw that the cancer went from like this to like a really tiny, tiny deal, I still feel numb. I still feel overwhelmed. And I try to press past that. I met some wonderful ladies in the lobby today who are battling their own journey. And I met one young lady today. She was just coming back for her follow-up mammogram. She had it 10 years ago. And so we were just chit-chatting, girl talking in the lobby, in the waiting area. And just some amazing conversations and encouragement. This disease is just running rampant. And I'm encouraging you all, men and women, to go get that mammogram. If you ever wanted to bless my life, I want to see you go get that mammogram. It doesn't hurt. It's uncomfortable. I really wish she would have let me take pictures of it so you could see how the process goes. Not that I had to show you the boobs and all of that and be gory, but some things it would have been nice to have a picture of so that it's better understood. But please go get your mammograms. If you're feeling crazy or weird, go to the doctor. Get a checkup, get a physical. Have them draw your blood work. Send it off. You know, I don't know how great your insurance is. I get it. Some people don't have insurance. So if you got insurance, it ain't all that great. But do the best you can do to take care of you, because this disease is not slowing down. And this has hit home. So it ought to be a red flag for you that it's possible. You know, a lot of times we live in a world where we think it won't happen to me. Because I told that lady today, I said, I never in a million years would I have thought I was going to have breast cancer. Of all the ways, and you know how we do, we can picture ourselves dying. That wasn't one of them. And so it's imperative that you go get those mammograms. So please go and get them. If you're not going to go, at least, get your OB or get your primary doctor to do a physical exam on you, to touch them, to see if she can feel something. If you catch it early, that's your best line of defense. So now, forever and ever, I have to be tested a lot. And that's a little frustrating, but I understand that it's part of the process. And, I'm just saying the best thing you can do is catch it early and get that medicine started and go for it. Watch your diet. I can't prove it, but I really think fast food has a lot to do with it. I think all the chemicals they put in there to expand the fruit, change the color to make the color in the fruit better, make the fruit grow bigger. I think all of those things are playing a big role in how this cancer is multiplying so fast. I'm not saying you gotta go completely vegan. I get it. I'm a foodie, but we gotta straighten up our diet. We gotta stop thinking obesity is okay. We got to stop thinking that fast food is okay. And we're not checking on those things. We're not having the blood work done. We just living. So we got to start putting some effort into living longer. So anyway, I done preached. So I think that's all I got for now. If you guys have any questions, I did have someone message me today and said their friend has been given her diagnosis. I don't mind talking to anybody because it's a scary process, and how you can help your friend. Every friend is going to be different. Like, I got some friends that are just strong and they don't want to be bothered like me. And then I got some friends that need you to hold their hand and rock them to sleep at night. So you just be the best friend that you know how to be. You offer support and back off, because it's already overwhelming to get a diagnosis right like that. And now here we are. Now, mind you, my journey started in July. It's January, and I still am trying to process it all. It's not an overnight thing. It's not a quick thing. It's very devastating to hear the word cancer. So if you have loved ones that need encouragement, that need somebody to talk to or ask questions, I don't mind. Also, please point them to the breast cancer survivor group in Facebook. I actually found 3 of them, and one of them is just a basic breast cancer support group. And they share pertinent information about treatments. They share their experiences, and we bounce ideas off of each other, which I find amazing, because these women are going through a devastating thing now, and they are working to better themselves, to heal, and to share the information as well. So if you have loved ones, please encourage them to go find that support group. You be as supportive as you can, and whatever they need. If they don't need a lot of attention after they get through crying for that first week, back off. Let them breathe. Let them process it. Let them think about it. Let them cry to God. Let them get mad at God. Let them do everything that they need to do, and then when they're ready, they will reach for you. At 42 years old, I know how to holler for help. So that's neither here nor there. I think that's it, y'all. I really do. I don't think I missed anything, because I did make these few little notes. So anyway, important dates. January the 8th is the day I meet Dr. Higdon, and he will do his physical exam. He'll look at the labs, and then he will put a temporary plan in place for how he's going to go in and do what he's going to do. And we'll talk about the implants at that point. I haven't thought about it. Somebody asked me what size I wanted to be. I'm thinking of a D, like I said in previous videos. I'm thinking of something a little bit smaller, because implants typically only last 10 years. So what I don't want to do is look up at 52 and have implant issues. So if they're going to come out or be replaced or whatever, I just rather keep it as simple as possible. So, but we'll talk about that, because I don't even know what my options are, as far as what the insurance company will pay for, excuse me, and whatever Dr. Higdon's skill set is, because he might not be, some people could do hair and they was only good at finger waving. And honey, some folks could do hair and all they could do is ride at ponytails. Whatever your skill is, that's why I want you to perform your best. So if you only good at doing single letter, do that. Let's do what you good at. I done watched too many episodes of Botched, and I done got all the pieces, because I really don't want to be on Botched. But Dr. Gower has assured me that I won't be on the episode of Botched. So I'm happy about that. So anyway, have a good night. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for sticking to your prayer targets. Those of you that have fasted, thank you for your fasting. I'm a firm believer in the prayer and the work of God, and his work has worked. honey. Um, they were really happy. I cannot wait to show you guys the mammogram and the ultrasound. I just cannot wait for you to see this. I cannot. So I'm excited about that. And anyway, yeah, so we were at chemo today from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I'm tired. I'm a little bit loopy right now because they give you Benadryl before they start your medicine. And so I'm just still kind of groggy because of the Benadryl. And I hope I haven't said too many stupid things in this video because I'm still all hocked up on Benadryl. That's all I got. If I think of something, I'll put it in the bottom of this video. I'll do I don't know. I think that's all I got, y'all. Anyway, thank you. I love you. Good night.